Welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. Arsenal have lost 2-0 at the Emirates Stadium to Juventus' second team. That was quite pathetic. That was quite very lousy a performance we've actually put in. With all the possession in the world, with all the amounts of ball possession, we have lost a game without even scoring a single goal against a team that actually doesn't start for Juventus in the Italian Serie A. None of those players starts for Juventus in the Italian Serie A, and we've gone ahead to lose 2-0 to them at the Emirates Stadium. Bear in mind, 90% of our team was back in that game. Xhaka, Partey and Odegaard, that is the midfield three we're going to be using the whole season. They were there. Gabriel Magalhaes, Benjamin White, and Aaron Ramsdale. It's just pathetic. It's just absolutely pathetic. But what are your thoughts on this game? Did you see any positives? Did you see any signs of improvement probably from the side? Let me know. I would really want to get your thoughts on the game in the comment section below, and hit that like button. Now, this is how Mikel Arteta started the team. Ramsdale was in goal, and of course I really say that he should be back because it's the last game in training. It's the last simple game we have before we go back to the Premier League. He's not played any action for England, so therefore he needed some 90 minutes to play. So Ramsdale in goal, Benjamin White in the team, Gabriel Magalhaes in the team, Rob Holding, who scored an own goal in the team as well, and Kieran Tierney, who played very well. So the back four, in my opinion, didn't have any problems, because when you look at the number, you look at the nature of goals we've actually conceded, it is not because we defended poorly. They were just defensive mistakes. They always happen in games, right? So the back four was all right. In midfield, he went with Xhaka, Partey, and Martin Odegaard. That is the midfield three we are going to be seeing whole season. That is the midfield three we're going to be looking at every game right after Christmas. And we controlled the midfield very well. We controlled actually the game very well using the availability of those three, but we didn't create any chances. Up top, Fabio Vieira, Reece Nelson, and Eddie Nketiah, who had the worst game in an Arsenal shirt ever. That was Eddie Nketiah's worst game. It was all about him being humiliated by junior goalkeepers and missing chance after chance. And I don't know what to say, but Eddie Nketiah today was absolutely pathetic. Reece Nelson came off and Marquinhos was introduced in the first half, because Reece Nelson actually picked up an injury. Now, these are my positives from this game genuinely. Number one, we have a possession team. We are possession-based team. Our style is about possession. And again here today, although we're playing underdogs, we're playing a team that actually we could barely recognize. Most of us couldn't even name 5 players in that team, like Fagioli, maybe Miretti, Locatelli, Keane, and who else? And maybe Daniel Rugani. We could barely mention the names. This is a team that doesn't start for Juventus anywhere in their competitions. Not in the Coppa Italia, not in the Italian Serie A, not in the UEFA Champions League, not anywhere. Even when they come to the Europa League, this team will not feature anywhere, right? And yet they've gone on to beat our 80% of our starting 11. No. That was quite pathetic. But we controlled the game very well. And you will look at the possession we had in that game, over 70%, in the game. That is, quite very impressive. It shows that the mojo, it shows that the connectedness, it shows that the basics of this team, the principles are still held tightly together, right? But you cannot have that possession. You really can't have that possession and don't create meaningful chances. You can't have that possession and don't score. You can't have that possession and fail to beat Juventus B. I mean, how are we going to explain to anyone that we failed to beat Juventus B? It's despicable. It's unheard of that we do not beat Juventus B. We've beaten some of the biggest teams. We've beaten Lyon. We've beaten AC Milan. And Juventus B, it's unacceptable. The other positive that I saw in this game, there was a positive. We really handled the game very, very well in terms of game management. I don't think they really had any time to enjoy possession. But the other positive was Fabio Vieira. And I said in the last summer that this boy is going to be a star. This boy is going to need some time. But when he comes around, you will see a real player for Arsenal. And definitely, guys, finally, we are seeing the real Fabio Vieira that we ordered for. Look, it could have been a kind of online buy. And you know, with online purchases, at times they don't actually come in the version you expect them to. But this one came in the real version that we actually ordered. What a performance from Fabio Vieira. Everywhere on the pitch, trying on the left, trying on the right. How many crosses did he bring in that game? How many chances did he try to create? How many times did he break through the lines? How many times did he have a shot on goal? Brilliant, brilliant performance. He's the only player that can stand out of those 11, 12, 15 players who played in that game and say, okay, we played, but we didn't win. The rest of the players were purely average. Passing the ball around, having possession all the time, that really doesn't define a good game, right? It really doesn't define a good game. It doesn't mean you've played well because you had possession all the time. But Fabio Vieira today, if we had scored, it was going to come from Fabio Vieira. Either him scoring or setting up someone. And I want to see more of Vieira. I want to see more of him on the left. I want to see more of him on the right. I want to see more of him in midfield. Look, all this business of Mikel Arteta, waiting until the 80th minute to introduce him in games, it should stop. He's a real bowler, a player that I can see really can change a game. That is Fabio Vieira, a player that I feel Arsenal have a game changer. Arsenal have someone to blow life back into the side. Whether it's 80 minutes in, whether it's 70 minutes in, Fabio Vieira is fantastic. Look, his versatility is mind-blowing. I've seen him occupy positions in this game, and I was like, okay, all right, yeah, you are really talented. He's really talented. And those were the only two positives I've seen in this game. Maybe the other positive is that the boys are back. Okay, Ramsdale is back, Xhaka is back, Partey is back, and all these boys are back, and we are enjoying, seeing them in the Arsenal jerseys. But that is not a very good welcome. I'm sorry, it's not the best welcome I wanted. Now let's move on to the negatives, because these ones have so many of them. Number one, Eddie Nketiah's performance today has been utterly pathetic. Now, I will back him for some time because I know in this game, the chances were actually seldom coming by. But there were those clear-cut chances Eddie had, and he should have put the ball in the back of the net. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's thinking, because in my opinion, this is the time. This is your chance to get and grab the opportunity you've been given by Gabriel Jesus being injured. You don't want the manager, you don't want the team to think you're not good enough. Let's go and sign someone else in January. But now, two performances against Milan and against Juventus now, I'm actually disgusted. I'm not impressed at all with Eddie Nketiah. Like, all he was doing was getting embarrassed by those P2 goalkeepers Juventus were putting in their goalposts. I'm not impressed. Not at all. His running was aimless. I don't remember recording something good of Eddie Nketiah's performance today. And I don't want to be biased because it's one game. It's a training game. It's all about being fit and all that. But you could see that Eddie Nketiah was lacking. And these are two games where I've said the same statement. His performance is lacking. It is lacking something. It's lacking that precision. It's lacking that energy. It's lacking that ability to convince me. It's really, really lacking. And I think it was by far the worst player on that pitch. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. He was by far the worst player on the pitch. His performance was actually very, very poor. The other negative is our passing had no precision. And look, we've talked about this before. You cannot keep on passing the ball around aimlessly. It doesn't work. It doesn't help. Like having possession, having chance of possession, 80% per possession, 70% per possession, and then ending up not scoring a goal against Juventus B, that is unacceptable. It's absolutely weak. It is weak, it is pathetic, it is lousy, it is garbage. It is absolute garbage. I don't care if he's training or not. I don't care if you guys are going to say, because you're overreacting. That passing lacked precision, right? And when he introduced Mohamed Elneny, I was like, okay, this is the end of the game. You need to penetrate sides. You need to be creating those chances. You need to be working the channels. We need to be more aggressive towards goal, guys. It's as simple as that. This is not a Premier League side. And we know when it comes to stopping you, when it comes to standing in your way so that you do not score, Premier League sides do that very, very much better. Okay? So our passing today didn't have precision. We were only passing the ball around, switching it from one side to the other, from Vieira to Odegaard, then to Marquinhos. It was aimless. It was absolutely aimless. Okay? We had possession, but the possession meant nothing. Like, we didn't create any good chances for the likes of Odegaard to run onto, for the likes of Fabio Vieira to run onto. All those half chances that I'm reacting to right now don't make any sense. We are a team with a lot of quality. We are a team with a lot of potential in it. So we must be creating those good chances. We must be creating those opportune moments for our players to run onto and score. I didn't see that. It's either Juventus B were actually very, very good defensively, or Arsenal A were too poor at creating chances. I don't want to give them the credit they don't deserve. I think we were shit going forward. I think we were absolutely pathetic. I won't give them that credit that they don't deserve. I don't think they were excellent defensively. I don't think they were excellent, but we were absolutely poor. And that has to change starting on 26th November. That must change. Like, definitely, it must change. All right. So that is negative number 2. And negative number 3 is the own goals. 2 own goals. Like, bro, what are we doing? Is this some kind of donation, Christmas giveaway, and whatever? Are we trying to sympathize with Juventus for the situation they're in? We are actually, not trying to do that, are we? But look, I don't want to go into the Premier League and then this actually escalates into some talking point, own goals or individual mistakes. Now, both goals don't really look like clumsy mistakes, especially Xhaka's and drop holdings. 2 players that really had nothing to do much in the game, okay? But 2 own goals doesn't sound good for me. Yeah. 2 own goals really doesn't sound good for me. Like, maybe 1 own goal, probably, but 2 against Juventus B, no. Yeah, not really. So, again, the lack of chances, the individual mistakes, that has to stop. But look, if I was to react to this game, to be honest, without raging and putting the feelings aside, I think it was a very nice experience. Arsenal, moving the ball around, getting the boys back into the side, and just allowing us have that game together, because we're not having many training sessions. Probably today is the 17th, right? So 18th, 19th, 20th. It's like a week. So we have 1 week before we play West Ham. Some players will need to get some rest. Some players will need to check out their fitness levels and everything, and then get back into the side, okay? Reintegrate into the side. So it's a game that actually helped us do that. Mikel will not be very, very happy, because he would have wanted 3 in the last 3, but that has actually not been able to be achieved. Can it actually highlight some of our mistakes and weaknesses to the teams we're going to be playing? Absolutely. I think with aerial balls, we didn't do well, okay? But again, this is an Arsenal side that barely concedes aerial balls, okay? We barely concede goals from area circumstances. It wasn't that good. I'm not really impressed, but I don't want to press so much against my team. I don't want to press so much against my players. They've had a very, very good season. They have given me a very, very big reason to celebrate and be happy whole year. Okay, whole year. And I'm not going to trash that. So if I was a little bit pathetic at the beginning of the video, I'm quite sorry. Okay, I don't like it when we lose. I don't like it when we lose games. It just doesn't sit well with me. But to be honest, I will let that one slide. I will let that one slide. We'll walk into the next game, heads high, players are back. Martinelli will be in, Saka will be in, all these boys will be in, and I hope then we score. I hope then we win. I hope then we have that zeal. Okay. Actually, I thought and we fought until the last minute. The likes of Nwaneri were brought on. And I thought those young lads really played very, very well. By the way, I'll give them a lot of credit. They played better than some of these old players that were actually in the side. So we've lost 2-0. Not really happy, but I can let that one slide. We have so many important games coming up in this month, in next month. So I can let that one slide. But, and I'm going to say this, right? I'm going to let that one slide, but it should not happen in the Premier League. Like, it should not happen in the Premier League. Miko knows that. The boys know that. And yeah, see you in the Premier League. I mean, we'll react to Mikel Arteta's press conference and see what he said. But I know everything will be all right. See you soon. Pum pum.